Okay, so we're doing fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, otherwise known as FAS or FASD. So the definition for fetal alcohol syndrome is it's an umbrella term describing the range of effects and types that there are that can occur in an individual whose mother drank alcohol during pregnancy. These effects may include physical, mental, behavioral, and/or learning disabilities with possible lifelong implications.
So there's 4 types of FASD. There's FAS, which is fetal alcohol syndrome, which is an impaired intellectual functioning disability. There's ARND, which is an alcohol-related neurodevelopmental disorder, and that's a complex range of disabilities in neurodevelopment and behavior. And ARBD is alcohol-related brain damage, and that alters both the structure and function of the brain as a result of the direct neurotoxic effects of alcohol intoxication or acute alcohol withdrawal. And the last one is PFAS, which is partial fetal alcohol syndrome.
So there's many physical features of FASD. These are just some of them. So they can have a small head, low average height or weight, smooth upper lip, small eyes, thin upper lip, and upturned nose. FASD must be diagnosed by a dermatologist and a physician.
The behavioral features of FASD are poor coordination, or the main ones are poor coordination. They're more responsive to disruptions in routine. Typically, they have issues with social boundaries, and they have issues with executive functioning, like personal hygiene and decision making and all that.
There's many learning setbacks for FASD, such as low intelligence, low concentration, behavior problems, difficulty with executive functions, poor decision-making skills, poor social abilities, poor coordination, poor organization skills.
Treatment. Several types of treatment are available for people with FASD. These are some of them. Medical care, medication, behavior and education therapy, parent training, and alternative approaches.
These are some of the educational strategies for FASD. Have a regular routine, rewards for positive behavior, simple and few instructions to follow at a time, practicing organizational skills, ask caregivers for what works best for them, find something at school that they love, medication, stimulants to treat lack of focus, hyperactivity, and other behavioral problems, neuroleptics, anti-anxiety to treat anxiety and aggression, and counsel.
We have a video.
I always judged people like me. Growing up, I thought a woman who drank while she was pregnant was just about the worst kind of monster there was. Hey, Nat, we have to stay away from the camera, okay? It's just gonna look at you.
Natalie, what's it like to be you?
I'm 6. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell everyone?
I want to tell dinosaurs.
All right, tell them about dinosaurs.
Because I like the long necks.
Before Natalie came into my life, I was a mess, and I was drinking on a daily basis, and she was born at 28 weeks, so about 3 months early.
What's the best thing about Natalie?
She's the best sister I've ever had.
I was planning on giving her up for adoption because I couldn't take care of myself, so I certainly couldn't be responsible for taking care of somebody else.
What's your favorite thing about dinosaurs?
The Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What does he say?
Since the day she was born, that idea was never spoken of within my family. Like, we never revisited that subject.
We feel like we're friends, not sisters. But we're sisters. And not
She was in the NICU for 3 months from when she was born, and So during the first month I went back to rehab.
If you could tell the whole world one thing, what would it be?
I'm a horse.
You're a horse?
Every day I'm grateful to be alive. She saved my life. And then her sister came along and we just became a fun little family.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Okay, and to end off, I just wanted to read this book because I think it's a children's book. So my parents adopted kids with FAS, and I didn't get it. Like, it's hard to understand when someone looks like a typical person, right? But their brain doesn't function the same way that mine functions. So this book just made me think, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, their brain is just thinking like that. So hopefully to the teacher line, but can everyone see it? My name is Frankie, and I'm the world's greatest rock skipper. I have fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, also known as FASD. I prefer to say FASD because it's easy to remember and I say it faster. I love who I am because I'm such a great kid. FASD means my brain works a little differently than my family and friends. Keep reading and find out what makes me so special. Then I'll just skip the beginning part, just to save time. But he just loves rock skipping. Like, he's a simple kid. He's just late to get to school. Like, he just gets distracted all the time. This is a good part. Even though my teacher, Miss Maple, isn't happy when I'm late, she still shows me respect and patience. She knows I have FASD. I also have a hard time understanding and remembering rules. I don't mean to be late or do bad things. Most of the time, it's just hard for me to understand what I'm allowed to do. This is my desk. I know it looks messy. I eventually find everything I need. Because I have because of FASD, I'm not the most organized student in my class, but I'm working on getting better at it. Miss Maple has a picture reminder for me to follow today. It's a picture of a clean desk and it shows me where everything goes. My mother and Miss Maple met at the beginning of the year to create an FASD-friendly classroom. Miss Maple was quite interested in making changes that would help me learn. So it just goes on to show him how he organizes his stuff, and he has pictures for everything. And he says, recess is my favorite time at school. I love playing with my friends. Sometimes I do things I'm not supposed to do, but I'm not always sure why. I keep forgetting the reason. One day, I wanted to show my friends how far I could throw a rock. I found a rock in the schoolyard and threw it as far as I could. It broke Mr. Brown's window. I don't always think about the consequences of my actions. This is part of FASD. I also have a hard time learning from my experiences. I tend to make the same mistakes over and over again. I don't do it on purpose. I just don't learn from my mistakes. That's why cue cards and reminders are so important for me. So that was one of the big things for me as like a new sister to FASD, is I didn't understand why my siblings are doing the same thing over and over again, even though we've told them like every single day, but their brain just doesn't process the information the same way. Yeah, so this was really good to read. Then it goes on to more organizing and school is out and I can't wait to get home and practice my throwing again. Before I have to do my homework, Mom lets me show her how far I can throw. It takes me longer to do my homework than my friends. My homework is divided into sections. When I finish each section, I get to place a sticker at the side of my agenda homework reminder. That way I know when I have finished all my homework. It's a little trick Miss Maple showed me. So he has a bunch of little school tricks that help him get his work done and keep himself organized, and he does the same things at home that he does at school. Then this part. When I finish my homework, I'm allowed to play at the park. My friends, Eddie and Dakota, join me. Both Eddie and Dakota have trouble focusing at school. They have ADHD, but they don't have FASD. I see Justin with his friends. They look like they're having fun. I don't think they're supposed to tangle the swings like that. Let's go see. Justin shouldn't tangle the swings. It's not right. I don't always realize what's right and what's wrong, and that's when I can get into trouble. having good friends who help me spot the difference is really important for me. So that's like the last big important message in this book is having good friends at school is really important for kids with FASD. Having good influences because they get really influenced pretty easily by the people around them, and it can be really easy to feel accepted in the wrong crowd, especially for these guys. So yeah, so that I just wanted to show you because I thought this was the cutest book ever. So Forgetful Frankie, yeah. So that's all we got. So
Good job.
Are there any questions?
How old are your siblings that you have with
there's 7 of them.
They all have.
Just to different degrees.
Right.
Some of them there's not you can't tell all, and then some of them are very behaviorally out there. But the oldest one is 14. He's very organized. He knows things really well. He's very smart. But connection-wise, it's harder to get into a relationship with him. But maybe that's just because he's also a 14-year-old boy.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's 2 twins who are 13. They're kind of getting the same thing. Then there's a 11-year-old girl, and a 9-year-old girl, and she's probably the 9-year-old girl is the most affected by FASD. She's so precious, but she's just in her own world a lot of the time. Then there's a 5-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Wait, she's 8. The next one is 7, and then the next one is 5.
That's a lot of kids in your house.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also have a little brother who has FASD. He's 10 years younger than me, so 8 years old.
Wow. Wow.
So when you girls were talking in the beginning about the different kinds of FAS, okay, how does that happen? Is it how much the mother drinks in which trimester?
Yeah, it also depends when they drink too.
Yeah.
It can affect different things.
Yeah.
So
The severity?
My little brother was adopted, and she told us that she started to drink during the 3-month range. So
Okay.
it affects different things. So all along it can affect the inside, and then it can affect the arms, the legs, anything. So I have a chart I could get, and it shows you where it affects it from when they drink.
Oh.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I just had never heard of when you were describing the 4 different ones. I never knew that there were. I just thought it was fetal alcohol syndrome, and that now they call it fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, which is the whole umbrella. It kind of embraces everything, and I didn't know if that was part of the whole integration, or when you girls were breaking it down, I thought, I wonder if that's got something to do with where in the 3 trimesters, right, of pregnancy, where the drinking falls the heaviest. It would have been interesting to know with this little girl where that, was that drinking heavily throughout the whole pregnancy, or was that, right? Because she talked about how she was going to give the baby up because she obviously knew, that this is so awful.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
guess it can be quite different. It's quite different between.
Yeah, when I have 5 siblings that are adopted that have fetal alcohol as well, and they're all very different in how they behave and in the success of their life and their ability to cope with, as adults.
Yeah.
But I remember as children, they did look like this.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. And my uncle and my aunt also have FAS.
Oh, awesome.
But when you're a kid, it's harder. Sometimes it's harder to tell because when you're a kid, you're just acting like a kid. But when you grow up, you're still acting.
Yeah.
You're still having these behavioral problems.
Yes.
So that's when it really sticks out.
Yeah. And also when you're Aboriginal, if you're of Aboriginal descent, sometimes it's a feature of being, it can be part of your tribe or part of your people. You don't know, we don't know. We might not know from looking at a picture what we're seeing, but you don't recognize that that's FAS.
Yeah.
You think that that's because it's a little native baby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know, right? What before even in the
Yeah,
face.
they're not huge differences, right?
No, sometimes they're very just
Yeah, like
Minimal.
my siblings, like some of them, I can't
Yeah.
even tell. Plus, like, I think many people with FAS have smaller lips,
yeah.
but I have black siblings, so they all have bigger lips in general.
Oh, yeah.
So
Right? See, but there you go.
yeah, but some of them have really small lips. So
Or clefts.
yeah,
Clefts is
mhm,
also,
one of them,
cleft
yeah.
palates are very common as
Yeah.
well.
big
Because
range.
that's not developed. Yeah. Thanks.